Tahniah! Siaran langsung ini dibawakan khas kepada anda oleh Akademi YouTuber Malaysia. Sebuah inisiatif e-didik Malaysia dan Kelab Guru Malaysia. Tumpukan perhatian anda. Siaran langsung akan bermula sebentar lagi. Link sijil akan diberikan di hujung siaran ini. Pastikan diisi dalam tempoh yang ditetapkan. Terima kasih.
Merpati hinggap di dahan jati, tempua bersarang di celah mentari. Tuntutlah ilmu sepenuh hati, penunjuk jalanmu di kemudian hari. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Salam sejahtera. Selamat datang kepada semua penonton, para guru, ibu bapa, khususnya anak-anak pelajar yang dikasihi sekalian ke Pusat Tuisyen Percuma Akademi YouTuber Malaysia dengan kerjasama e-didik Malaysia dan Kelab Guru Malaysia. Bermula percuma, selamanya percuma. Apa khabar anak-anak pelajar yang cikgu kasihi sekalian, di mana jua anda berada? Cikgu doakan anda sentiasa berada dalam keadaan yang sihat walafiat. Jadi sebelum kita mulakan kelas pada petang ini, ayuh kita buka majlis ilmu kita dengan Ummul Kitab Al-Fatihah bagi yang beragama Islam. Bagi yang bukan beragama Islam, anda bolehlah bertafakur mengikut kepercayaan masing-masing. Al-Fatihah. Amin, amin ya Rabbal Alamin. Syukur Alhamdulillah dipanjatkan kepada ilahi kerana sekali lagi dengan izinnya dapat kita dipertemukan sekali lagi pada petang ini Ahad 6 hari bulan Mac 2022 iaitu hari Ahad. Okay, jadi hari ini kita bersiaran secara langsung dari channel Cikgu Peh ataupun nama glamournya Mr.Peh. Okay, apa khabar Mr.Peh? Sihat ya?
Khabar baik. Sihat.
Okey, dan kita juga ada Mr.Peh sekarang bertugas di SMK Tinggi Cina Melaka. Dan kita juga ada Cikgu Kok Simai selaku control host pada petang ini. Cikgu Kok kini berkhidmat di SMK St. David Melaka juga. Cikgu Kok, okey ya cuaca di Melaka hari ini? Okey, baik. Dan kita ada Cikgu Wan Rohana di sana selaku pemerhati kita pada petang ini. Cikgu Wan Rohana binti Mahamud alias Wan Muhammad kini berkhidmat di SMK Sultan Ismail II Kemaman Terengganu. Apa khabar Cikgu Ana?
Alhamdulillah, Cikgu Ita sihat.
Alhamdulillah. Okay, dan saya sendiri Cikgu Hasnita dari SMK Baganjaya Butterworth Pulau Pinang selaku moderator anda pada hari ini. Jadi kelas kita akan berlangsung selama lebih kurang 1 jam secara langsung sekali lagi dari channel YouTube Mr.Peh. Jadi siapa yang belum subscribe channel Mr.Peh, okay, boleh subscribe channel Mr.Peh sekarang dan anda bolehlah tonton video-video berkaitan dengan fizik. Ada banyak di channel beliau terutamanya bagi yang belajar dalam DLP. Okey, jadi diharap kelas pada petang ini memberi manfaat kepada semua. Okey, seperti biasa di sepanjang kelas kita berlangsung, cikgu akan kongsikan kod 6 aksara untuk anda isikan pada borang rekod kredit yang akan dikongsikan oleh Cikgu Kok di akhir siaran nanti. Okay, dan anda juga akan diberikan e-sijil sekiranya anda menonton siaran. Anda boleh isikan e-sijil itu dalam tempoh 30 minit selepas siaran live kita berakhir nanti. Dan anda bolehlah menggunakan email e-didik, email Delima, email My Guru dan email Jawi untuk mengisi link sijil tersebut. Okay, jadi mari kita intai sebentar siapakah yang ada bersama kita di talian. Ada Encik Ying di sana. Okay, kita juga ada ramai pelajar yang lain di sana. Jadi ajak lagi rakan-rakan anda boleh share lagi link kelas ini. Mudah-mudahan ramai lagi yang dapat manfaatnya, khususnya calon-calon SPM yang bakal menduduki peperiksaan fizik pada 14 hari bulan Mac nanti. Seminggu saja lagi. Jadi gunakanlah kesempatan yang ada dengan sebaik mungkin untuk kita sama-sama bersedia. Okay, jadi cikgu yakin dan percaya Cikgu Peh pun sudah tak sabar tu apakah yang akan dikongsikan dengan kita pada petang ini. Okey, jadi cikgu berikan dahulu 2 kod. Yang pertama, dengarkan kodnya baik-baik. Angkanya adalah A2. Okey, cikgu ulang sekali lagi 2 kod. Yang pertama A2. Okey, silakan Mr.Peh.
Okey, so terima kasih kepada Cikgu Hasita. Okey, so seperti yang Cikgu Hasita katakan, so SPM ada lagi lebih kurang 1 minggu. Okay, so sekarang kelas tuition percuma fizik ini kita fokus kepada latihan yang mana boleh anda dapat skor A, okay, A+, okay lagi dalam SPM 2021. Okay, so di sini kita ada 2 kelas yang fokus kepada tingkatan 5 diadakan pada setiap Jumaat 9:30 malam. Untuk yang tingkatan 4 diadakan seperti hari ini, hari Ahad pukul 2 petang. So ini merupakan panitia fizik SPM Akademi YouTuber Malaysia yang hari ini bersama saya di konti ini ada Cikgu Hasnita, Cikgu Kok dan Cikgu Wahana. Okay, so hari ini Cikgu Peh akan fokus kepada soalan-soalan trial, okay, fizik SPM Negeri Johor, okay. So kertas 2. Okay, so seperti yang biasa kita mulakan, okay, kalau anda masih tidak pasti, okay, format instrumen SPM fizik lagi, okay, so cikgu ulang lagi satu kali lagi, okay. So di sini kertas 3 sebenarnya kita sudah selesai, okay, pada bulan lepas, okay. So sekarang kita fokus kepada kertas 1 dan kertas 2, okay. So dua-dua merupakan jenis yang bertulis. Okay, so untuk objektif ada aneka pilihan dan aneka gabungan. So kertas 2 kita ada subjektif berstruktur, respon terhad, terbuka. Bilangan soalan untuk yang kertas 1 adalah 40, okay, dan kertas 2. Okay, di sini kita ada 3 bahagian, okay, 8 soalan yang wajib dijawab, okay, di bahagian A. So 2 soalan yang mana anda boleh pilih salah satu, okay, di bahagian B. Sekiranya anda pilih dua-dua soalan, okay, so maka tertinggi akan dipilih dalam pengkiraan akhir nanti, okay. So untuk yang bahagian C ada 1 soalan. So kertas 3, 3 item sebab di sini kita kira sebagai ada 3 subjek, sebenarnya 1 sahaja, okay, untuk setiap subjek tersebut. Okay, so maka keseluruhan kertas 1 40, kertas 2 100, kertas 3 15. So keseluruhan 155. Okay, so berikut merupakan konstruk yang akan diuji, okay, dalam kertas 1, 2 ini kita ada mengingat, memahami, mengaplikasi, menganalisis, menilai dan mencipta. So kertas 1, tempoh ujian adalah 1 jam 15 minit. Kertas 2, 2 jam 30 minit. Kertas 3, 45 minit untuk setiap subjek. So hari ini Cikgu Peh akan fokus kepada kertas 2. Okay, so berikut adalah analisis trial Negeri Johor 2021. So di sini anda boleh lihat soalan 1 sehingga 4, okay, so terdiri daripada knowledge, understanding, dan start dengan 2, 3, 4 dia adalah calculation. Okay, yang ini tak banyak berbeza kepada analisis yang sebelum kita mulakan untuk perbincangan trial paper, okay. So di sini yang soalan nombor 5. So dia merupakan soalan conception, okay, 5 markah. So yang di sini dia tidak ada calculation untuk trial exam Negeri Johor, okay. Dan untuk yang soalan 6 seperti biasa yang kita bincangkan, dia ada conception 5 markah, calculation 2 markah, understanding 2 markah dan 1 markah kepada knowledge. Okay. Tetapi dalam trial Negeri Johor, okay, so biasanya soalan 7 dan 8 ini mesti kita bincangkan ada satu soalan decision making ataupun satu soalan modification. Okay, tetapi di sini untuk yang trial exam Negeri Johor ini dia tiada soalan modification dekat bahagian A. Okay, so tetapi untuk yang soalan modification tetap adalah pada soalan yang 11. Okay, yang saya nampak berbeza di sini hanya soalan nombor 7 di mana dia tidak tanya soalan modification lah. Okay, yang biasa kita bincangkan ini dia ada termasuk satu soalan modification. Okey, di soalan nombor 7, okey, di analisis trial untuk Negeri Sembilan, walaupun dia tidak ada drop soalan 7 sebagai modification, tapi dia ada pada soalan 8. So keseluruhan bahagian A dia ada modification punya soalan dan decision making. Tapi untuk yang Negeri Johor ini dia tiada soalan modification. Okey, tapi keseluruhan semua yang kriteria yang akan ditanya juga termasuklah knowledge, understanding, calculation, conception, decision making, modification, semua masih ada lah. Okay. Dan jumlah markah untuk setiap soalan sebenarnya sama dengan apa yang kita bincangkan. Okay. Soalan 1 4 markah, soalan 2 5 markah, soalan 3 6 markah, soalan 4 sampai 8 9 markah. Dan bahagian B dan bahagian C 20 markah seperti biasa. Okey. Cuma yang soalan 7 ini bahagian A tiada modification punya soalan di trial Negeri Johor. Okey. Okey, so kalau kamu lihat soalan tingkatan 4 dan 5 diuji pun lebih kurang sama 50-50 lah. Okey. So hari ini saya akan bincangkan soalan yang tingkatan 4 sahaja. Okey, iaitu soalan nombor 1, nombor 3, nombor 4, nombor 5, nombor 9 dan nombor 11. Okey. Okey, so mari kita mula dengan soalan nombor 1. Okey. So sebenarnya ini soalan mengenai chapter 1. Okey. So dia tanya tentang sukatan kandungan. Ini 1.1 physical quantity dengan 41 ini merupakan thermal equilibrium lah. Okey. Jumlah keseluruhan 4 markah. Kriteria yang ditested ini adalah knowledge 2 markah, understanding 2 markah. Okay, so mari kita bacakan soalan bersama. Okay, so diagram 1 show a consumer needs to undergo a body temperature check before entering the business premises when a COVID-19 outbreak tracks. Okay, so di sini dia nak uji dia punya body temperature first lah. Okay. So complete the following sentences by tick in the box for the correct definition. So this is the first question regarding the definition. So what is the definition for temperature? Okay, so here the first one is a form of energy. So a form of energy actually is the definition for heat. Okay, where the unit is actually joule. Okay, so the answer here will be degree of hotness. Okay. So this will be the first question and first mark. Okay, so for the next question is state the physical quantity measured by the thermometer. Okay, type of the physical quantity. Okay, so for this question, okay, you have to give the physical quantity for thermometer. Okay, so thermometer we are measure for temperature. Okay, so for the first, you can see that the physical quantity can be classified to base quantity and derived quantity. So the base quantity is the quantity that cannot be derived. Okay, while for the derived quantity, the quantity physics is actually derived from the base quantity. Okay, so in your textbook, okay, you can see there is actually 7 base quantity listed. Okay, in base quantity, this is length, mass, time, temperature, electric current, luminous intensity, amount of substance. Okay, so you can see here the temperature is listed in the base quantity. Okay, so for the derived quantity here, the example here we have volume, density, velocity, charge, and many others. Okay, for example here, volume is come from length times length 3 times. Okay, so this is we call is derived quantity. Okay, so we are sure that the physical quantity for the temperature from this explanation you can write as base quantity. Okay, actually there is another answer here. Okay, the another answer here is the scalar quantity and vector quantity. So the scalar quantity is the quantity that have magnitude only. Okay, while for the vector quantity, it has the magnitude and also the direction. So example here, for the scalar quantity, we have distance, speed, work, and temperature. Again, you can see the temperature is listed under scalar quantity, which is only have magnitude and no have any direction. Okay. So the example for the vector quantity here is displacement, velocity, force, and velocity. Okay, which they are have magnitude and the direction. So the another answer here you can given as scalar quantity. Okay, so this is answer for B. Okay, so for the next will be the question regarding understanding. Okay, so state the unit represented in diagram 1. So the diagram 1 you can see the quantity physics measure is temperature. Okay, so the unit will be degrees Celsius. Okay, it will be degrees Celsius, 36.6 degrees Celsius. Okay, this is impossible. This value given in the unit of Kelvin. Okay, so the question not asking you regarding the SI unit, but is the unit measured by the thermometer. Okay, so here is degrees Celsius. Okay, so what is the temperature reading from the diagram in unit SI? Okay, so for unit SI will be Kelvin. Okay, so we can see the figure, okay, in the thermometer. Digital thermometer is 36.6. So we have to plus 273, so become 309.6 Kelvin. So the answer must be in Kelvin. So this is the first question. Okay, so the next question is question number 3. Okay, is from chapter 3. Okay, so is regarding man-made satellite. Okay, so here the total mark is 6 mark. The criteria tested is knowledge, understanding, and calculation. Okay, so diagram 3 show a weather forecast satellite orbiting the Earth at certain height with the radius of the orbit r, and the linear speed is v. Okay, so you can see the linear speed is here, and the orbiting radius is r in the figure here. Okay. Okay, so state the factor that affect the linear speed of the satellite circulating on the surface of the Earth. Okay. So in today's discussion, okay, I will try to use the formula listed, okay, given, okay, in your question. Okay, so for those, sometime maybe you can remember or you do not know how to start your explanation. Actually, you can refer your formula list. Okay, so you can refer your formula list to get idea. Okay, so from here, so this is the formula list in the trial exam for Negeri Johor 2021. Okay, so regarding the linear speed, okay, so the formula is actually at 11, okay, which is the V equal to square root Gn over R. Okay, so from here, you can see the value G and M. G referring to the constant, okay, and M is actually the mass of the Earth. So both is actually a have a fixed value. So that means the variable here is only the R, which is the radius of the orbit. Okay, so that means that actually you can get the idea from the formula list. Okay, so the idea, the answer here will be radius of the orbit. Okay. Okay, so the next will be B, okay, regarding the calculation. Okay, so a weather forecast satellite with the mass 419,000, okay, 725 kg orbits the Earth at the height of 600 km. So calculate the linear speed, okay, linear speed of the satellite orbiting the Earth. Okay, so we can get the formula from the formula list, okay, given in the question, okay, so which is the 11, which I mentioned just now. So there is the square root of Gm over R. So from here you can see the G is given, okay, which is 6.67 times 10 power 11, and the M which is the mass of the Earth is given. The value is 5.97 times 10 power 24. Okay, so what is the value R here? Okay, so the value R here is, you can see from the figure given by the question. Okay, so R will be here. Okay, so the capital R representing the radiance of the Earth, which is given as 6.37 times 10 power 6. Okay, so how about the distance from the surface of the Earth to the satellite? So the question actually is given the H value, which is 600 km. Okay, okay, so you can get your R equal to radiance of the Earth plus the height, okay, of the satellite from the surface of the Earth, okay, which is 600 km, and you have to change to SI unit, become meter. So end up you get your radiance becomes 6.97 times 10 power 6, and you just, okay, from here you can see the formula here without any small letter m, right? Okay, the small letter m actually represented as the mass for the satellite, which is not involved in the formula. So we not need to including these numbers, okay, in your calculation. Okay, okay, so we just substitute what is the value given, okay, in the question, and what we get for the R. So we get answer is 7,558.478. Okay, so actually if let's say you leave your answer in 2 decimal place, is also accepted. Okay, and again I remind you all, okay, so I know that most of the students, okay, prefer to change the answer in standard form. Okay, so again, please maintain your answer in more decimal place, okay, if you change your answer in standard form. Okay, okay, so this is the hot tips here. The next question is continue the calculation and 1 mark for the knowledge question. Okay, so here the question asking you to find out the centripetal's acceleration of the satellite. Okay, if you referring to the formula list, okay, in the trial exam of Negeri Johor, okay, you can not find any equation regarding the centripetal's acceleration. Okay, however, you can get the formula indirectly in the formula list. Okay, so here you can see you can get from F equal to mr, which is at the number 5 equation, and the number 9. Okay, so number 9 is F equal to mv squared over r. So from here, if let's say we change to the format of F equal to ma, so the a will be v squared over r. So that means that some of the formula actually you can get indirectly, okay, from the listed formula. Okay, so no worry. So try to think what you can do if let's say you can't remember the formula. Okay, I think most of the formula actually can be get indirectly from the listed formula. Okay, so finally we get from here the a will be equal to v squared over r. Okay, again we substitute all the value from the question 1. Okay, so the value we substitute and then we get the answer is 8.1966. Okay, so this is the answer, but I think 2 decimal place should be accepted lah, which is equal to 8.20. Okay, this is the thing I want to let you know. Okay, actually the formula which is you cannot remember and cannot find directly in the formula listed, but actually you can try to get, okay, in the formula list indirectly. Okay, so the next question is give the example for the satellite made in Malaysia. Okay, this one you have to memorize, which you can get from the textbook, okay, page 106. Here is Miasat, Tiongsak, Rajasat, and Pipit. Okay, so we have 4 sample reference for you here. Okay, so for the next question, question number 4, okay, so is regarding the chapter 5, 5.6 is interference of the wave, okay? So diagram 4.1 shows moving ice cream track, okay? So diagram 4.2, 4.1 is here. So the track is here, and the 4.2 is the pattern wave formed by the two loudspeaker, okay? So the loudspeaker is here. So the interference pattern you can see is at diagram 4.2, okay? So two similar loudspeaker were placed 0.8 meter apart. So that means this value is actually A. If I say you're using the formula for the interference, which is actually listed in the formula page, okay, in the question, okay? And the question also given another information is the frequency for the sound wave, okay, is 600 hertz, okay? So the speaker produce coherent sound wave, okay? Two kicks work along the distance 3.2 meter in parallel in front of the speaker. So that means the distance between speaker and the distance where the boy and girl can listen the sound, okay, of the speaker is actually here lah, D. If from diagram 4.2, D is here. So the A will be here. Okay, later on we'll discuss in the question lah. So that here round sound and soft sound alternately. Okay, so you can see K representing as the loud sound and the L representing as a soft sound. Okay, so the question here, the first, what's the meanings of the two coherent sources? Okay, so the answer here is the source that produce wave which have the same frequency and phase difference is constant. Okay, this is the answer given. Actually, if I say you mention same wavelength is also accepted. Okay. Okay, so the next question is the frequency of the radio signal generated increase. What happened to the distance between the two consecutive loud sound? Explain. Okay, so now the question asking you, if I say frequency increase, so what happened to the two consecutive loud sound? So from formula, this will be represented as symbol X. Okay, so again, the formula listed in the question is very useful. Besides, you can use for the definition, you can use for the calculation just now. Actually, you can also apply, okay, the formula listed in your explanation. If let's say you cannot get any idea. Okay, so here I will teach you how you can get the idea of the explanation, okay, through the formula listed in the question, okay. So at here we have two formula can be used, okay, which is the V equal to F lambda. Another one is the formula 20. Lambda is equal to X over D, but you have to know what is the symbol represented, okay. So the lambda represent as the wavelength, A is represented as the distance between two speaker, okay, in this case lah, okay. Then X represented as the distance between two consecutive loud sound, and D will be the distance between the speaker and the person who listening the sound, okay. Okay, so from here we can change, okay, the formula become like this, okay, because from here we can see that frequency V divide F will be also become lambda. Okay, so we get this formula and we change to this. Because the question asking us if the frequency increase. So we want to find out the relationship between the frequency with the X here. Okay, so from here you can see if I say our F increase, the value of the X will be decreased. So this is the first mark, okay, we can get decreases, okay. So the first mark of the 3 mark here, and another 2 mark will be explanation. Okay, from here how we can get the idea from the equation. The first, you can see the sound is speed is actually constant, so the variable here will be F and lambda. In this case you can see the question already given us the frequency increase, So the affected will be the wavelength will be decreased. Okay, so this is the first idea you can give in your explanation. The second, you can get your idea from the formula number 20, okay, which is listed formula in trial of the Johor lah, okay. So from here, after we rearrange, okay, the formula, you can see the wavelength will be also decreased, okay, in this formula. Okay, so the first you have to write as the frequency decrease, okay, the wavelength decreases. Another one, you can see when the wavelength decreases, okay, from the formula of 19, you can see the x is decreased. So total you can get 3 marks, okay. So you can get the explanation idea from the formula. If I say you have no idea anymore, okay, so you can get from formula. The next will be B. The distance between the two speakers is 0.8. If the boy walk at the distance of 3.2 meters from the speaker, he hear 5 consecutive loud sound at the distance of 3.3 meters. Okay, so here is a diagram 4.2. Okay, you can put the value in the diagram, okay, so that you can more understand what is actually the question want to try to ask. Okay, so the distance between two speakers is 0.8, which is A, and then the distance between the boy and the speaker is B, 3.2, and there is the 5 consecutive loud sound here, which is 3.3. You can see here we have 5 consecutive loud sound. So the distance between two consecutive loud sound represented as x. Okay, if let's say we're using the formula 20. Okay, so here we can get, we have 4x here, which is equal to 3.3. Okay, so the 3 mark here, the first mark given by identify the value for 1x. Okay, so 3.3 divided by 4, you can get the distance for 1x is 0.825 meter. Okay, the question asks you to find out the wavelength. Okay, so from formula 20, okay, you can get the formula as ax divided by d. Okay, so as mentioned, a is 0.8 and x is equal to 0.825 and then d is 3.2. So finally you get 0.206 meter. Okay, so second mark for substitution, third mark for the answer. Okay, so the next asks you to calculate the speed of the sound wave. Okay, so from the formula 19, okay, you can get the value V by substitute value of F and lambda. Okay, so from the question, okay, we can get the value for frequency is 600 Hertz, and the answer from just now question, okay, we get lambda equal to 0.206. So we substitute the value, we get first mark, and we get the answer second mark. Okay, 123.6. Okay, so the next question is question number 5. Okay, is regarding chapter 2. Actually, chapter 2. Okay, section 2.6, force. And this question we have actually 9 marks. Okay, so let us read question together. The diagram 5.1 and 5.2 show a hotel porter pushing a trolley with loaded trolley. Okay, so the trolley is here. We have P and Q. Okay, there is a net force adding on the trolley. So the net force is represented by the arrow. Okay, causes it to accelerate from P to Q. Okay, from P moving to Q. Here also the same. Okay, so the position of the trolley from P to Q for both diagrams are different, but the time, sorry, there is the same time interval here, so the T is same. Okay, so from here, the first question asks you to give the meanings of the frictional force. So the frictional force is actually opposes the motion. Okay, so the red arrow here is representing as the friction actually. Okay, so we can just give the meaning as force move at the force act opposes the motion of an object. Okay, so this is the definition. The next question, B. This is the conception question, 5 marks. Okay, so normally you can get full marks for this type of question. So observe the diagram 5.1 and 5.2, compare the mass. Okay, so here you can see we want to compare the mass. So from the 5.1, there is only one load, okay? And the figure 5.2, we have 3. So it's very obvious that the mass for 5.1 is less than 5.2. Okay, so number 2, the question asks us to compare, okay, the force. So the force here is referring to the same person. So since the given question given us the time interval is the same, so that means the force for the both diagram 5.2 and 5.1 is the same. Okay, the next will be comparing the acceleration. Okay, acceleration. Okay, sorry, I have to focus. I forget to read the comment. Okay. Okay, so if you have any question, you can just ask. Okay, so for the acceleration here, you can see we can actually using the formula again. Okay, F equal to ma. So the idea is from where the force is same from number 2 and the mass is small for the first question here. So that means if let's say we want to get the equal value of F, the value A must be bigger. So from here, you can see in the figure which 5.1 have the smaller mass. So that means the acceleration will be higher for 5.1. Okay, so the 5.1 is greater than 5.2. Okay. Okay, so the next. We continue the question regarding the conception. Okay, so here is the standard relationship between the mass and the acceleration. So from the formula just now, we can know that if the mass of the load, okay, decrease, the acceleration will be increased. Okay, or you can give the answer with this formula so which showing that the acceleration is inversely proportional to the mass. Okay. Okay, so what is the law involved here? So will be the Newton second law. Okay, then the D, based on the diagram 5.2, what happened to the acceleration of the trolley? Okay, if the hotel porter pushes the trolley by using only one hand. Okay, so from the figure, we can see the porter using two hands. So that means the force will be greater compared to the one hand. So as the question asking us about the acceleration, you can relate with the second Newton law, okay, which is F equal to ma. From this formula, we can know that the F is directly proportional to the A. So as the F decreases, the A, which is represented as the acceleration, will also decrease. Okay, so answer is decreases. So that means you can actually get your idea or answer from the formula. If let's say you have a problem to answer your question. Okay. Okay, so the next will be explain briefly your answer D1. Okay, so first, using one hand, the force will be decreased as mentioned just now. The second, acceleration is directly proportional to the force. So that means we can get the idea of the explanation through the formula. Okay. Okay, so Cikgu Hasnita, we can maybe take a break.
Okey, boleh Mr. Peh. Jadi anak-anak pelajar, kita berhenti rehat seketika sebelum kita sambung semula sebentar lagi.
Tuisyen online percuma. Tuisyen online percuma. Layari www.academyyoutuber bagi mengikuti tuisyen online secara percuma. Prasekolah, sekolah rendah, sekolah menengah, semua ada di Akademi YouTuber. Rujuk jadual di laman sesawang www.academyyoutuber.com. Semoga masa terluang anak-anak anda diisi dengan sebaiknya. Tuisyen online percuma mestilah Akademi YouTuber.
Okey, baiklah anak-anak pelajar, kita kembali bersama dengan kelas ulang kali jom Skor Fizik SPM untuk 2021 bersama dengan Mr. Peh pada petang ini. Okay, cikgu tengok kita ada Kifa di talian, kita ada Cia Ying, Cia Yao, Cikgu Faiza pun ada di sana. Jadi anak-anak kita agak senyap sikit petang ni Mr. Peh. Jadi mungkin anda boleh respon kepada soalan yang dibincangkan oleh Mr. Peh, ataupun jika ada soalan yang ingin anda tanyakan pun boleh juga, nanti akan cuba dijawab oleh Mr. Peh. Okey, boleh. Jadi jom kita sambung dengan soalan yang seterusnya. Silakan Mr. Peh. Sebelum tu izinkan saya berikan dahulu kod yang ketiga dan keempat Okey, jadi dengarkan kodnya baik-baik. Kod yang ketiga dan keempat 02. Okey, sekali lagi kodnya 02. Okey Mr. Peh, teruskan.
Okay, so terima kasih Cikgu Faiza, menyertai kelas saya, Cifang, Cia Ying dan rakan-rakan yang lain. So saya sambung section B, soalan 9. So soalan ini soalan chapter 4, yang section dia ada 4.1, regarding thermal equilibrium, 4.2 regarding specific heat capacity, and 4.3 is regarding specific latent heat. So I think this question is also quite popular because I think I have actually explained almost the same question at the series 5, which is the trial exam from Sarawak. So let us go through the question together. So diagram 9.1 shows employee of a bakery are busy baking bread using an industrial oven to meet customer demand for their viral bread. So what is the meanings by the thermal equilibrium? So the first question is regarding the knowledge. So again, from this figure, which I already explained at the series number 5. So the first, you can see the two objects are in thermal contact. So that means both object P and Q is touching to each other. Second, the heat transfer or the energy will be transferred from the hotter object, which is P, to Q. If I say you see the pink color box here, where the value of the object P is 100 degrees Celsius and the Q is 0 degrees Celsius. So that means the energy is flowing from P to Q. So if let's say in this case, the object P will be oven, because the oven will be provide heat, to the bread. So the bread will be represented as the colder object here. So that means the bread will be trying to absorb the heat from the oven. So the hotter object cool down while the colder object warm up. So that means the bread, which is represented as Q, which is colder, will be increase in temperature. And finally, the P, the oven, that means the inside of the oven and the bread, will be achieve the same temperature. So there will be no net heat transfer here. So both objects will be in thermal equilibrium, we say. So that means for thermal equilibrium, we must mention, the both contact object, the heat transfer will be 0. okay, and then the final temperature will be the same. So this is the two key words, okay, you have to mention in the definition for thermal equilibrium. Okay, so the next will be the understanding, okay, 4 marks, okay, as mentioned for many times already, okay, so we have to give more than 4 points here, okay, so because we're not sure that the answer be given here is it in the marking scheme, okay, so I advise more than 4 points, which is no contra, okay. Okay, so based on the thermal equilibrium, explain the flow of the heat energy that occur in the break. So the question asks you regarding the heat flow, okay, for the break off here. So the first, as mentioned, okay, so the hotter object will be oven, and the colder object will be break off, okay. So the first mark here, you have to mention, okay, so the break with lower temperature will be absorb energy, okay, or heat energy at higher rate than release heat, okay, because the heat will be absorbed from the oven to the break. So this is the first mark, okay. The second, so the colder object, as mentioned just now, will be increased for its temperature. So the break temperature will be rises. And then after a few minutes, okay, break will be reached or achieve thermal equilibrium with the oven. So that means there will be no net heat transfer. Okay, 0 here. Net transfer of energy between oven and break will be 0. Okay, or you can mention the temperature of the break and the temperature of the oven, okay, will be equal. Okay, so this is the four idea here. Okay. Okay, so for the next question, okay, so this actually, I think this is a past year question. Okay, so that means the trial exam of 2021 of the Negeri Johor, okay, actually they have referring to past year question actually, okay. Okay, so let us read the question together here. Here is the calculation question, which is 5 marks. Okay, normally you will see at section B. So a solid substance with the mass of 0.05 kg is heated using an immersion heater of 240 volt and 0.1 kilowatt. Okay, so diagram 3.9.2 show the heating curve of the solid. So that means the object will be started at solid. So calculate the specific latent heat of fusion of the substance. Okay, so here the keyword here will be specific latent heat, which is the heat required to change phase of 1 kg substance without changing its temperature. Okay, and the fusion represented as the solid object become liquid. Okay. Okay, so as mentioned, the object is solid, and when the heat is provided, okay, until the melting point, okay, so which is 78 at here, so the solid will become liquid, okay, will be start become liquid but still in solid state. Okay, at the end of the melting process, all the solid, okay, will be completed, melted, become liquid. Okay, and here represented as the starting point of the boiling process. Okay, so that here you can see the boiling point for this object will be 218. Okay, so this is what the information you can read. Okay, you can read, okay, in the diagram 9.2. Okay, so again, the range, okay, of the specific latent heat will be from 1 minute to 3.6 minutes. Okay, where the temperature is constant, is no change. Okay, but just the phase change only from solid to liquid. Okay, so we will be study this area for this question. Okay, again, we are using the formula list, okay, and we get the formula from 15, which is representing the latent heat, okay, specific latent heat. Okay, another one, the question given us the power of the immersion, which is 0.1 kilowatt. Okay, how we relate the this formula with the latent heat, okay, specific latent heat. So we're using the formula of 28. Okay, so the power equal to energy divided by time. So the E actually at here will be heat energy, so will be Q over T. So we rearrange become Q equal to PT. So end up we get PT will be equal to ml. So that means we can actually get the calculation, okay, in this question by using the formula list again. Okay, so from here the first question given us the power is equal to 0.1 kilowatt. We change to SI unit, which is watt, by multiply 1000, so we get 100 watt. And the T we study at this area 1 to 3.6 minutes, so we have to times 60 seconds, where we need to change our time to SI unit. Okay, and then the M given as the 0.05 kg. So we substitute in the equation. Okay, we get our first mark. We rearrange again the formula, and we get the answer is 312,000. Okay, so you get your second mark. Okay, so the next question asks us to find what is the specific heat capacity, which is the heat required to rise temperature of 1 kg about 1 degree Celsius without change of the state. So that means that here we have two parts, okay, representing as the specific latent heat, which is 0 to 1, okay, where from solid to liquid. Solid to solid also actually, but started to melt. Okay, and another range will be from 3.6 to 4.8, where is liquid to liquid. Okay, 48 represented as the state where the liquid started already completely melted, and point here will be the object started to boil. Okay, so but here the question asks us to find the area of liquid. Okay, so that means they will be here. Okay, liquid to liquid, okay, as mentioned. Okay, so again, we're using formula list from formula 14, which is Q equal to MC theta, and formula 28, okay, P equal to Q over T. We rearrange, we get our formula PT equal to MC theta. Okay, so again, power is 100 watt. The T here, we studied the range from 3.6 to 4.8. Okay, so multiply with 60, where we want to change to SI unit. Okay, the M will be 0.05. The theta here, you can see the temperature change from this point to another point will be from 78 to 218. So the temperature change will be 218 minus 78. We substitute the value in the formula, okay, and we get the answer is 1029. Okay, first mark will be given for the temperature change. Second mark will be correct substitution. Third mark will be the answer. Okay. Okay, so the next question is regarding the 10 marks of the decision making. Okay, so let us read the question together. Diagram 9.3 show the food storage container carried by the food panda food delivery man using a motorcycle. Okay, so the storage container consists of a bag of store food in it. Okay, so it's here. Okay, so there are 4 types of the food container here. Okay, M, N, O, and P. Okay, so the keyword here is you have to choose the best container where the food is still able to become hot. Okay, when reach your house lah. So that means here we need the food keep warm, or we can reduce the heat loss. Okay, so the question asks us to study, okay, the specific capacity of the food container. So we have to choose a low or high specific heat capacity of food container. So we have to choose low. Why? Okay, because low, that means the food will become hot faster. Okay, so the temperature will be rise faster. So in the inner parts of the container actually here. Okay, the second is study about the size of the food container. So must be big lah, okay, for food panda delivery, right? Okay, because they can put more food in the food container in one way. They are going to deliver the food for their customer. Okay, the next is regarding the inner parts of the material of the container. So that means here, as mentioned for just now, the first one, we're using the low specific capacity material. So here you have to give the correct material. So we have polystyrene and aluminum foil. So for these two options, so the aluminum foil will be shows the lower specific capacity. So the answer here, we choose the layer of aluminum foil for the inner part for the container. Okay, so again, the reason will be the same. Okay, so that the temperature will be rises faster or heat up faster inside the container. Okay, the next will be the outer part. Okay, so the outer parts of the container, we have to choose the higher specific capacity material so that the temperature will be drop, okay, lower, or you can say that the heat loss will be able to reduce lah. Okay, so we have to choose PVC plastic. Okay, so because it is a poor heat conductor, okay, and safe to handle because the surface will be not too hot. Okay, so we have to choose N, okay, with low specific capacity, bigger size of container, inner parts of the material is a layer of the aluminum foil, while the outer material of the container will be PVC plastic. Okay, you have to mention again. You will get the full marks for this question. Okay, so we go to our last section, section C, question number 11. So this is the question regarding the chapter 6, okay, light and optic, and the subtitle for this question is 6.6, okay, image formation by spherical mirror. Okay, 20 marks question here. Okay, so diagram 11.1 and 11.2 show an object at different position in front of the convex mirror. So here this is a convex mirror. So what is the means by an image distance? Okay, so this is the common question asking for the definition actually. Okay, so the image is at here. Okay, so here is the full of the mirror and the image is at this position. So the V normally is the symbol for the distance of object. So that means from here, so the image distance will be distance between the image, okay, and the pool of mirror. So you'll get 1 mark. Okay, so the second question will be the conception question, which is 5 marks. Okay, so again, this is the question where you can score full mark. Okay. Okay, so based on the diagram 11.1 and 11.2, where is here? Okay, so compare the size of the object. So here you can see 5 marks here. So you must have total five answers here. So the first will be size of the object. Okay, you can see very clear from the diagram 11.1 and 11.2. Okay, so they are actually same. So size of object 11.1 equal to 11.2. Okay, then the second is object distance. So the object distance is here. Again, there is very obvious that the 11.1 is longer compared to 11.2. So this is the answer. And the next will be the size of the image. You can see the size of the image is here. So the 11.1 is smaller compared to 11.2. So you can get full mark actually, okay, just by observing the diagram. Okay, then number 2, relate the object distance with the size of the image form. And another one is set the physics phenomenon that relate to the above diagram. Okay, so the first, object distance and the size of image. Okay, so it's here. Object distance is the arrow, blue arrow here. And the image will be the diamond shape, which is boxed with the green color line. Okay, so from here you can see as the object distance longer, so the image will be smaller. Okay, so as the distance increases, okay, object distance increases, the size of image decreases. You can just observe the diagram. And the last one is regarding the physics phenomenon. Okay, so the physics phenomenon here will be reflection of light. Okay. Okay, so the C. Okay, so for this question, again, advise you, okay, to write more than four points lah. Okay. So diagram 11.3 shows a mirror periscope. Okay, so this is a periscope. Periscope is used in a double-decker bus to enable driver view the passenger at upper decks. Okay, so explain how the mirror periscope can be used to view an obstructed object. Okay, so for this question, the answer in drawing, okay, in diagram is accepted here. Okay, you can give your answer in diagram, but you have to label correctly, okay, or you can write your answer as usual in sentence. Okay, so the first, the ray from object are reflected by upper mirror. Okay, so from here, if I say you draw your diagram, okay, you must draw the object. You must mention object. Okay, here is a tree. Actually, you can put apple also can, okay, whatever object, okay, showing that there is an object. And the right ray will be strike the first mirror. The first mirror here will be upper part of the mirror. So this will be 1 mark. If I say you draw this part without showing the sentence. The second mark will be the ray light are rotated, okay, 90 degrees by each mirror. So will be here. Okay, 90. Here we have two 90 degrees. Okay, you can see the right ray actually is reflected 90 degrees lah. So this is you must showing, okay, at your diagram. If I say you not mention in sentence. So the third mark, okay, the reflected ray are subsequently reflected by lower mirror. So you have to draw the lower mirror here. So you will get third mark. So by this diagram, by drawing this diagram with correct label, you will get 3 marks. Okay. The last will be the resultant image is visual and upright. Okay. So this is the 4 marks for this question, which you can actually draw with label in your diagram. Okay. Okay. So the next question, okay, the last question regarding the modification, 10 marks. Okay. So you can see together with me the question. Diagram 11.4 shows the situation in the grocery shop. The owner of the shop wants to fix an anti-thief mirror that his cashier can see clearer view of the interior of the shop. Okay, so that means here the modification actually asks you to using the physical concept. So here the 5 modification you can suggest for this question. The first is the type of mirror. second position of mirror, diameter of mirror, thickness of mirror, and other aspects. Okay, so here again, advise you to write your answer, okay, in the table. For the first, here is the convex mirror, safety mirror, right? Okay, you can see at mostly the grocery shop like 7-Eleven, Family Mart, okay? So this type of mirror is known as convex mirror, okay? So because it's able to given wider view of vision, okay? So this is the reason. The position from this figure, you can see you must put at the high position, okay? So that no obstructed by the rack. Because you can see in the diagram, the rack in this shop is mostly very high. Okay, so if I say our mirror is put at high position, we can observe all area in the shop. Okay, the next is regarding the diameter. So diameter will be here. So we must have the bigger diameter of the mirror. Bigger diameter of mirror means we have the bigger surface of the mirror. Okay, so it have a brighter image and provide more space to reflect the light, so we can see more area. Okay, the next will be the thickness of the mirror must be thicker. So thicker because we need a stronger mirror where it can be last longer time. So the other aspect here, okay, is the rotatable mirror. So that means the mirror can be moved to left, right, top or bottom. Okay, so we can adjust the mirror to the place where we cannot see with the current position. Okay, so that means we can view wider area. Okay, so that's all for my presentation today. Okay, so I hope that my presentation today can help you, okay, especially to get your idea from the formula when you're answering the explanation question. Okay, so thank you.
Okey, terima kasih Mr. Peh. Jadi itulah tadi 6 soalan yang dibincangkan oleh Mr. Peh daripada Percubaan Negeri Johor 2021. Kalau tengok daripada 11 soalan, ada 6 daripada tingkatan 4 bermasuk 5 soalan lagi daripada tingkatan 5. Okey, jadi untuk anak-anak yang telah mengikuti, terima kasih kami ucapkan. Semoga apa yang dibincangkan oleh Mr. Peh tadi memberi manfaat kepada semua. Cikgu Peh tadi ada kongsikan tips di sana bagaimana kita boleh gunakan senarai formula, list yang diberi pada senarai formula untuk kita menjana idea, bukan saja untuk selesaikan soalan yang melibatkan pengiraan tapi juga soalan yang melibatkan konsep. Okey, jadi anda gunakanlah sebaiknya formula list yang diberikan pada kertas 1 dan kertas 2. Kalau blank pada hari exam, senarai itu sebenarnya sangat-sangat membantu. Okey, jadi terima kasih sekali lagi. Kepada yang terlepas di bahagian awal tadi, jangan risau, anda boleh tonton semula ulangan kelas ini pada link yang sama dan boleh juga pausekan pada mana bahagian untuk anda dapatkan jawapan yang lengkap. Okay, jangan lupa latihan ini boleh dimuat turun juga pada link yang disediakan oleh Mr. Peh di bahagian deskripsi video. Jadi kalau anda ada mesin cetak di rumah, bolehlah muat turun dan cetak keluar dan cuba jawablah dengan panduan dan tips-tips yang dikongsikan oleh Mr. Peh tadi. Okey, jadi nampaknya kita dah sampai ke penghujung rancangan. Jadi sebelum cikgu akhiri, cikgu berikan peluang kepada rakan cikgu. Cikgu Kok, ada apa-apa nak kongsikan kepada anak-anak pelajar kita?
Rasa pelajar masih ada 2 minggu cuti kan. Okey, lepas ni pelajar kena PTPR. Seterusnya untuk pergi form 5 kan, untuk belajar yang SPM tengah ambil SPM. So saya harap semua boleh belajar bersungguh-sungguh lah untuk buat sesi yang akan datang punya. Okey, pelajar akan masuk form 5 dan bersedia untuk SPM. Pelajar yang ambil form 5 sekarang punya SPM, okey, all the best lah bagi fizik paper yang coming soon tu. Okey, terima kasih.
Okey, terima kasih Cikgu Kok. Okey, Cikgu Wan Rohana ada sedikit kata-kata yang untuk disampaikan kepada anak kita, silakan.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh dan salam sejahtera. Good luck Cikgu Anda ucapkan kepada anak-anak SPM, baca soalan dengan betul-betul, kemudian jawablah sebaik yang mungkin. Okey, all the best semua. Terima kasih kita.
Okey, Mr.Peh mungkin ada nasihat terakhir untuk sesi hari ini?
Okey,
Silakan.
boleh. So pelajar yang akan menghadapi SPM jangan panik lah. Okey, kalau memang seperti yang tadi saya sebutkan, kalau you blank, you tak ada idea, cubalah cari daripada formula list ke mana-mana. Okey, jawab dengan berusaha bersungguh-sungguh yang mana markah tersebut kemudian. Okey, janji buat bersungguh-sungguh sekarang. Okey, thank you.
Betul Mr.Peh. Yang penting tu kita usaha sebaik yang mungkin, masa yang ada gunakan sebaiknya, dan yang paling penting jaga diri, jaga kesihatan anda. Dan kelas kita sebenarnya bukan saja untuk pelajar-pelajar calon-calon SPM tetapi juga untuk seperti kata Cikgu Kok tadi, untuk pelajar-pelajar tingkatan 4 yang akan naik ke tingkatan 5 pada sesi akan datang ni. Dalam lebih kurang 2 minggu saja lagi sekolah akan dibuka. Jadi anda boleh ulang kaji semula apa yang telah kita pelajari di tingkatan 4 dahulu. Selain itu kita juga kena bersedia untuk silibus tingkatan 5. Jadi diharap anda teruskan bersama Pusat Tuisyen Akademi YouTuber. Layari portal www.academyyoutuber.com. Kita ada banyak subjek yang kita bawakan pada setiap minggu. Anda bolehlah cek jadual di sana, apakah kelas-kelas yang berlangsung untuk hari-hari yang akan datang. Okey, link telah dikongsikan oleh Mr.Peh. Jadi cikgu kongsi Cikgu Kok. Jadi cikgu berikanlah 2 kod yang terakhir, iaitu kodnya 66. Okey, sekali lagi 2 kod yang terakhir 66. Okey, jadi jangan lupa isikan link e-sijil dan juga link rekod mata kredit menggunakan kod-kod yang cikgu sebutkan tadi, dan masukkan kod name username presenter iaitu t.me/pehkh. Okay, jadi salam hormat buat semua. Sekian dulu daripada kami. Mohon maaf jika ada kesilapan di sepanjang cikgu mengendalikan kelas pada petang ini. Sesungguhnya yang baik daripada Allah dan yang lemah itu daripada kekurangan diri kami, dan semoga perbincangan yang dibawakan tadi memberi manfaat buat semua. Berjumpa lagi dalam siri-siri yang akan datang. Assalamualaikum, salam sejahtera dan jumpa lagi.
Semua sekolah ditutup hingga cuti akhir tahun 17 Disember 2020. Anda tak cukup bahan? Tak ada rujukan? Tak faham? Anda nak tuition tapi PKP? Jangan risau, kami di Akademi YouTuber dengan kerjasama Kelab Guru Malaysia dan e-Didik Malaysia mengadakan kelas tuition online. Semua peringkat ada, semuanya secara percuma. Video PDPC pun ada. Apa ditunggu lagi? Layari www.academyyoutuber.com.
Dibawakan kepada anda